Hey there, so welcome to another speed build, and this one is called Compact Living. It's kind of a smaller home, to be honest, and it's essentially just one bedroom, one second floor master suite. It has a bedroom, it has the bathroom, and that's really all that's on the second floor. So it's kind of a small, living space, and I called it Compact Living just because I wouldn't call it a tiny home. It's not that tiny, it's kind of tiny. But it's just kind of small and quaint. It's kind of like the typical house that I would use in game, just because it has all the necessary furniture and nothing extra. Yeah, it has just basically everything that you need, all in a little home. And yeah, so it's kind of like a modern build. And this is actually a build that was different from my usual builds. Usually I plan something and then I sort of try to make it work within the confines of Sims. But this one I just kind of booted up Sims. I just got an empty plot of land and just started doing something. Just made some walls and yeah, turned out like this, and I like it. It's super small. The building to the left, that is actually the library that I built. If you want to check it out, I will have a link. I don't know, maybe in the description. I don't know if I can do those links on the video. Maybe, maybe not. But I definitely wanted to put some color, so I have a nice bold red, and yeah. I really like this build too because from if you're walking on the sidewalk, you can't really see anything really. It's just windows and walls. So I like how the door is kind of hidden on the side a little bit. And I do eventually put a fence, but I use the tallest one. Yeah. And then it kind of blocks it a little bit too. So I thought that was kind of nice. And yeah, so I kept this nice bold red. I add a little bit of wall trims. I really like the white trims, I've realized. I kind of do it, well, actually, I wouldn't say that because I do have another build that I've done that does not have white trims. But yeah, I mean, I really like it because against a dark color, it's really it pops a lot. So yeah. But I do a little bit with landscaping, not too much. I thought that this home would, it looks like it would be in addition to be calling compact living, it would be in a very compact neighborhood where all the homes are kind of modern, kind of small, but really tightly packed together. So, yeah. And that's essentially why I put that fence there, as well as that one wall that does not have any windows. So the wall on the left side, yeah, that's completely window free. And it's actually kind of funny because the backyard is essentially bigger than the rest of the house. Yeah, the backyard's pretty large, but I don't know, I thought this person really wouldn't care too much about the backyard, so there's really nothing much in the backyard. I kept it very, very plain. Yeah. Also, because in game, it's not I don't know how many of you actually use this stuff in the backyard, but I don't. Yeah, and as you could see, there was that one section of the house that did not have the floor trims, and I think that's because the stairs are up against it. Oh, wait. Okay, so here's a little editing thing that I did. So I actually did the inside already. I don't know if I did the inside at this point, but I've done the inside layout and a little bit of the furnishing, but I did not like it. Yeah, you can see. I didn't like it. It was just, it didn't work. So I'm kind of redoing the whole thing. But going back to the stairs on the outside, but if you put stairs up against an exterior wall, and if you put floor trims, the floor trim won't show up. So I covered it with vines, but then I moved the stairs, so essentially those vines don't really cover anything, but it still worked. Yeah, so this is the new layout. It's much better, if I should say so myself. And then this is the flooring that I chose. I love this flooring. It's so, I don't know, it's so clean looking. I don't know if that's the right word, but it just reminds me of a like IKEA or something. Just very, I mean, because it's not like you can see the individual floorboards. They're kind of all like merged together. But it's a very like open plan. So the kitchen like just all lines that one sort of wall. Yeah, and that's really it. And then I have a living room as well as a little table for two. I put it on the other wall, like the wall completely opposite the kitchen. I don't know why I do that. Later on I fixed it because I realized that I was being kind of stupid. Yeah, I use these panels, these like wood panels, and I really like it. They remind me of a hotel. I don't know why, but I love the rich dark colors. And the colors of this build, I think that they're very like brown, but I like them. And this is my favorite part of the house. I don't know why I decided to do this. I just had, okay, so that room behind the stairs, I actually thought that would be a study before I changed it into a bathroom, and I thought those vertical bars would be kind of like a divider. So I kept it like that, but then I changed it into a bathroom, and then I had to put a wall through it, and I just added some mirrors. And the good thing about the mirror is that it actually works, so that your sim can use it, even though there's those beams that like intersect it. So that's kind of cool. And then here I am doing a little bit of the kitchen. I removed those mirrored things later on. Yeah, and it took me a really long time to choose a color for the cabinets. Yeah, I essentially go with the black and white. I usually do that, just black and white, pretty regular. But what I don't do is make the appliances match the countertops. So all of them are black, which I like it. It gives a very like seamless kind of merge between all of them. Yeah, and that's quite nice. Yeah, so there is a bathroom downstairs. So in this kind of smaller home, there's two bathrooms, which I think is quite nice. So you have one for the guest and then one for yourself, and that's kind of nice. And here I am just trying to choose something to put on the walls, and I really like the way this turned out. So I put the cats and dogs paintings, and then I kind of intersect it with the wheatgrass that I used in the library that's to the building to the left, and I really liked it. I think it looks like it's a frame that kind of came with it. Yeah, and it's good because they perfectly like matched. They're the perfect like size. So because one of the painting is regular size and one of them is sized down, and the wheatgrass perfectly aligns to it. So that's kind of nice. Yep. Pretty small kitchen, and then yeah, just pretty small living in general. It's not necessarily, yeah, it's definitely not for like a family to live in. You can have maybe you and like, I don't know, your partner living here. Yeah. And just put those little ottoman poof things, extra seating, but I kind of meant for it to be like a footstool or something. And then I finally decided to move the little 2 chairs and eating table on the side that's like closer to the kitchen. That made way more sense. And then also, I really like the way this wall turned out. So I add a little pizzazz later on. I have this sloth painting right now, but I change it up. I moved the sloth painting to the upstairs though. So yeah. But I added the little cactus plant, and I really like the cactus plant. I tend to use it in a decent amount of my homes, so yeah. Yeah, and then I put this painting, which kind of gave me a little bit of trouble. I don't know why. I kept switching back between the painting that I chose and then the one that was like the default one. so I like had to switch it back over and over and over again. Yeah, and then I put a sneaky little bookshelf on the side, so it has, I think, essentially like everything that you need for your sim to live. Yeah, so it definitely has a very brown tone, little orange sofas, and I really like the screenshots. I think that the screenshots look so nice. Yeah. And then I also carried those vertical beams / mirror idea throughout the bathroom as well as the upstairs bathroom. And yeah, like I said, it's great because Sims can still use it. So it's functional and fashionable. Yeah. I don't know if I kept that rug. I'm not a huge fan of the rug just because it kind of blends in with the flooring just because they're both really light, but I think I'll keep it. Yeah. So here I'm having a little bit of trouble with like the mirrors and stuff, so that's like a trick. If you have like walls around it, and if it's like a wall item, if it's an item that's typically on the walls, they usually clip to the walls, so what I have to do is like delete it and then put it in place and then put the wall back. So yeah. But I guess this is turning into a very just neutral colored home, but with like pops of orange. But I don't think it's too overwhelmingly orange. Yeah. And then I just put more of the paneling. I do get a little bit carried away with the wood panels. Oh yeah, here's the upstairs where I had a layout and I really did not like the layout, so I changed it up. But the panelings, I basically put that throughout like the entire home. I made like feature walls, but then feature walls turned into main walls, and all of a sudden all the walls became that wood paneling. And I think that's what I said in my last video, but I'm not too particular with the flooring or the walls that I use. I just generally tend to use like a wood floors for most of my builds, and then a white paint on the walls, and then I just use that throughout the entire house. So yeah, I don't really tend to change up that stuff room to room. And then here's the upstairs, and I thought, you know, here's a nice big wall. I'll have a nice like built-in kind of bedside table combination, and it's very like black, it's very dark, but I changed the bed a little bit later, but it's also black. Yeah. And then using more of the wood panels. I'm not sure if I want that light behind the headboard, but it's there and I can't get rid of it, so we kept it. And then I put back the soft paintings because in every single one of my builds I've included that. You can go back into my previous videos and try to find them. Sometimes I didn't include me placing them, but they are in screenshots or they are in the download, but yeah, nevertheless, they're there, so you can always be sure to spot one. And then here is just furnishing a little bit of the walls and stuff. The desk is upstairs in the bedroom. There's a dresser. Just it's kind of a large bedroom, I would say. Yeah, it's pretty big, especially for the size of this home. It's like the same size as the room like that has all the rest of the living items, like the kitchen, the living room, the little eating area. Yeah, it's a pretty large bedroom for the size. But hey, that's quite nice. And I love how they have like windows all throughout that one wall, and that just looks into the backyard. Yeah, although the backyard's pretty bland. There's not much in the backyard, but I kind of did that like on purpose. Maybe the sim really doesn't really care too much about the backyard, and doesn't really use it that often. Like my backyard in my parents' home, like we actually got like a landscaper to like design it and do all this cool stuff to it. Like we have a fire pit, like a stove area, but the amount of times that we actually use it, close to never. yeah, so kind of pointless, but hey, it looks nice, I guess. But now we're doing more of this vertical beam and mirrors. And yeah, here's it clipping to that wall over and over again, so it's kind of tricky, but I did it. I would advise people to delete the wall before and then like put it back later, but it worked here, so yeah. But I was pretty surprised because I got the full set bathroom set in this bathroom. I just said set in bathroom way too many times. But yeah, there's a shower, tub, sink, toilet, everything. Also, there is a upstairs kind of balcony area, which doesn't have any furniture on it. Again, in a room that's probably not gonna be used that often, but it's there. And then this is the foyer entrance, and I've included a nice painting, nice plant on a little stand, and that's really it. Pretty minimal in terms of furniture, but I like it. Yeah, I think that's really it, to be honest. What else do I include in this build? I do the backyard a little bit, but again, there's not much in the backyard. But I'm including some curtains, some blinds, there's the word, I think, just because that's the front, and that's like, you know, there's sidewalk, there's people probably walking on the sidewalk, and you don't want them to see into your bathroom or your house, so just put that there. And then this is the backyard. So the actual like table and chairs, I actually just put that there just to like as a placeholder, but I kind of liked it, so I just recolored the items and that was it. And then I put a little fence around this little plot of plants. And for the flooring, I don't know why I keep using terrain paints when I could just be using the floor tiles, because I realized that there's a floor tile that looks exactly like this, and especially because I'm you know, making it perfectly like clean cut. I don't know why I don't use tiles. You could, to make it even more perfect. But this is also one of my favorite parts of the build too, which is kind of weird because it's such a little tiny accent on this build, but I've included this little tree that's inside this little circle of rocks, and I put little plants in them. I like that. I think it looks good. I like the landscaping on this build. Yeah. And lastly, I'm just putting a mailbox in a trash can. So here's a build. Oh, I like it. It's definitely a house that I would use in game. Like a lot of the builds that I've done previously, they're like huge. They're for like large families, but this one's nice for like a single sim, and that's definitely the type of sim that I would use in game, just like a single sim, not doing much. I'm definitely a very like goal-oriented like sim player. Like I don't do much with storylines. I just like to check off all the boxes and get the aspirations. But here's the inside of the house, and this is my favorite screenshot, I think. One of my favorite screenshots. Yeah, quite nice. Quite large for a smaller build. But I really like the tones of this build. It has the nice browns and the blacks and the oranges. And it's kind of like a fashion faux pas, or not necessarily fashion, but like design faux pas to mix like brown and black, but I'm liking it. Yeah, and I've included my pop art sloth painting, and I got 2. Yeah, quite nice. I also like this screenshot as well. There's a lot of windows in this bedroom, a lot of natural sunlight coming in. Should be pretty beautiful. Yeah, but here are the floor plans. The first floor, second floor, and then I've included the roof. But yeah, that's really it. So trying to time this right. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye-bye!